Well, it doesn't matter if it's a sunny day, a rainy day, any day is a great day to read a book. So here with her reading recommendations, the one and only Rona Brinlee, the owner of The BookMark in Neptune Beach. Welcome back. I missed you so much.
I know. You look great. It's so exciting to be back.
You look wonderful,
tell.
And an early happy birthday to you.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you. I'm getting old. Older.
No, it's just a number with you for sure.
Thank you.
So you've got cool stuff. What do you got here for us? I can't wait to hear.
There's so much stuff coming out. The publishers are so excited to finally be let out of the box, you know. The first is Ann Tyler. This is her 24th book. She's 80, French braid. She's the queen of family relationships. And this is a family, their first and last vacation was in 1959, so, you know, and then they've drifted apart. But like a French braid, when you take the braid out, there's still all those waves and connections, you know, that are going on. So that's the setup for the story. And she's great at telling you how families are dysfunctional and come together in the end. So, and they're always set in my hometown of Baltimore, so that makes it even more fun for me. So.
All right, sounds good. I'm a Maryland guy, born and raised in the Maryland area. So, and then we got Manhattan Beach.
No, this is Candy House.
There it is.
And both Ann Tyler and Jennifer Egan have won Pulitzer, so not for nothing. And we have signed copies of both of them. And Candy House is a really sort of dystopian novel about a guy who invents a machine that he can save all of your memories externally. And if you're willing to share them, you can have everyone else's memories as well.
Oh, that's kind of good and maybe scary in some ways.
It's very relevant with all the surveillance that's going on. And, you know, do you want to take that free bite from the candy house or do you want to keep your privacy?
Ooh, I never think of a candy house the same again. What else?
That's right. Can You Survive Midsummer? If you're like me, I love watching British murder mysteries, and Midsummer Murders is one of them. And you wonder how these small towns, everybody's dead. I mean, how many people could be left? There's a murder every day, or at least every week. So this is a fun one. You get to be the detective, and you get, it's like a choose your ending kids book. You pick different things and get different clues, and then when you get to the end, your goal is to find out who did it and to survive. And you get rated by your boss, like, did you do a good job? And so it looks little, but you get to do it over and over because you can pick different things and come out with different endings.
I love those kind of books, actually, so that's something to check out.
So that's kind of fun.
Yes.
This one is nonfiction, Last Call at the Hotel Imperial, and also very timely because it's the early journalists who went into war zones. So this is the build-up to World War II, so the 1930s and 40s, and interviewing Hitler and Franco and putting yourself at risk, all to keep the American public informed before cell phones, before the internet.
Right, we didn't have any of that.
Right, and so I think, you know, it's something to think about now when reporters and journalists are going over to a war zone and keeping us posted. It's a dangerous job, but this is, you know, sort of reads like a novel too. You know, there's sex and booze and teletypes and running around and getting the scoop. So it's very exciting, but very important, I think.
Awesome, that's a good find.
Yes. And then we have events, some in person and some virtual. Alan Lightman is one of my favorite authors. He's the only person to have a joint appointment at MIT in the humanities and physics. So he's a poet physicist to me.
Oh, boy, that sounds very smart. Yeah, poet physicist. I've never met one of those.
Well, you can meet him virtually. He's only coming virtually. And this is Probable Impossibilities, and he raises the little questions like what came before the Big Bang? Where do we fit into the world? And what's our place? How can you contemplate infinity and nothingness? So it makes your mind kind of play around, and I think it's fun to kind of mess with your mind a little bit like that, and with a real sense of awe, so that's always great. This is an in-person one, Fencing with the King, Diana Abu Jaber, and it's somewhat biographical. Her family is Jordanian, and it's King Hussein's 60th birthday, and what better way to celebrate than a fencing match with one of his favorite sparring opponents from his childhood. So he has to lure him back to Jordan. His daughter accompanies him and finds out all the family secrets that have been hidden for years. So you get a little bit of history and
to read about there.
A great story. And then we have, you know, I can lump these together. We have story time, virtual story time, and in-person story time for 3 weeks in a row. So we have, we don't even have the books yet. These are kind of fun. This is about bees and noise sounds. You lift the flap and you see what sound the animal makes. Children of the Forest is a great story about kids going on a great wild adventure in the backyard. So it's very dangerous and very scary.
And another cool
Bug on the Rug. She will be there in person, Sophia Gultz. And this is, you know, the pug is very happy on the rug until the bug comes. And now we got to fight for the rug. And last but not least, If You Change Your Mind, this is a book for teens. Robbie Weber is a Beaches native, and he's got himself a real New York publisher. So that'll be for older readers. So something for everything. We've got World Book and Rose Day coming, independent bookstore. It's too exciting. We're coming back.
You're back, yes. Great books, great events, and thank you so much for being on our show, Rona.
Oh, it's fun to be here again.
Oh, yes, great to have you. We'll have you back, and of course, check this out on our website, and that's firstcoastliving.net.